Hello and welcome to a full moon reflection in the sign of Capricorn. Let's investigate what that means. So under normal circumstances, I would say that a Capricorn full moon would be more of a conservative moon. It'd be more of a limited, held back, sort of a cool moon. Not the wild and free, expressive feeling and emotions, but more thoughtful in a sense. And in some ways it is expressed in this form. However, there are a couple of aspects that change things here. Namely, Mercury we find opposite in the sign of Cancer. Cancer being the sign that's ruled by the moon. So Mercury, the planet of the intellect and the mind, is in Cancer, meaning it's already charged with emotion. It's already seeking to express feelings, to express emotions in ways that it can articulate and communicate. And being in opposition with the moon, the ruler of Cancer, it's finding a little bit of creative tension. It is seeking balance. It's seeking a way to express the truth of what it wants to say through the emotional body. Yet, Capricorn is holding it back a little bit. So it's building a little bit of tension and building a little bit of strength. Also worth noting, the moon we find in trine with Jupiter and Uranus. A trine is an ease of flow of energy. It's an effortless flow happening right now between the emotional nature, between the feelings, as well as our capacity to expand beyond the norm, our capacity to push our minds into more abstract thoughts. That's the Jupiter influence. Mix that with the Uranus influence, and it's to push our mind. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury that we just talked about, and it's the creative genius. It's the part of ourself that is the universal higher mind, beyond just the lower intellectual mind. This is the part of ourself that sparks change, that sparks creativity. So blending that with the capacity to expand beyond the borders, and all of these energies are flowing into our emotions and into the feeling nature of ourself, happening right now through this particular full moon. Again, builds a little more energy with this moon, a little more tension within this moon. And lastly, we have the aspect of a sextile between Saturn, which is the ruling planet of Capricorn, which the moon is in right now. So there's a line of energy from Saturn and the moon also happening. The sextile brings beneficial forces. It brings opportunities in some way. So how does that play out within this? Somehow this tension and this limitation and this control that's going on in between the mind and the emotions is serving us in some way. It's helping us in some way. Perhaps it's a time to focus during this moon. Perhaps it's a time to use the energy and the power and the tension that's building between those two capacities, between those two archetypes of self. And we're able to focus it in a way that we can harness that energy and move it into aspects of our life that build and expand and lean further into our creative genius. That's how I like to see it, at least. So do your best to enjoy that. Do your best to harness that energy. Comment below on what you think that means. Please subscribe to my channel so I can keep this information happening and get it further out there. And thank you for taking the time, and I hope to see you in the very next video.